Hello to all my friends out there. I'm going to be talking today about 4 energy tips that you can do to stop bully energy in its tracks. Hi, my name is Nancy Rebecca, and I am a psychic healer. I'm also a nurse. I also teach intuitive and psychic development, and I've worked for over 25 years helping people to work with those paralyzing energies that stop you from being your true self. And one of those energies is bully energy. So let me just start with a little story about an experience that I've had. I've had a couple of experiences, and being a clairvoyant, I'm able to really kind of see what's happening with bully energy and people who kind of throw their weight around and throw energy, which that's another whole topic, but we're going to touch on that a little bit today because we're all capable of throwing energy when we don't get our way or we're throwing a fit and we want somebody else to stop doing whatever it is that they're doing. So I was actually in a class, and I was actually assisting in this class, and it was a healing class filled with spiritual healing people. I kind of laugh about that because no one is off the hook for being a bully. We all have that capacity. So I was in this class and I was assisting the main teacher. And in fact, I was kind of learning how to be a teacher at that time. So this was over 20 years ago. And what had happened was that we had a student that came in late to class. And when she came in, she had this kind of huge kind of traveling suitcase, and she unzips it. We're all in the middle of a meditation. The main teacher's guiding the lessons. And she starts kind of unpacking this, kind of pulling her books out and kind of slamming them on the floor, very disruptive energetically. But we just kept meditating, and the main teacher just asked, could you just kind of put that away for now? And as soon as we're done with the meditation, then you're welcome to get your things set out, make yourself more comfortable. Well, that was enough to trigger her. She'd been called out in class. She had felt that the whole class was looking at her. She felt that the teacher was being inappropriate, and she immediately started throwing energy. What had started off in this class being this kind of beautiful class ended up everybody kind of feeling sick to their stomach, feeling quite shut down, getting headaches and things like that. So this particular person was really throwing a lot of energy. Now, for me, when I looked at the lead teacher and the lead teacher's aura that had been quite bright, quite radiant, and quite in command of that class, suddenly I saw what looked like black balls of, I don't know, it'd be like cannonballs. I mean, they were about the size of a bowling ball of black energy coming from the woman's mind and slamming into the teacher's aura. And it would slam in the aura, it would kind of bounce off and hit the ground. And I saw it again and again and again and again. And I thought, oh my goodness, she energetically is using her energy to bully the teacher. She wants to take that teacher down. But this is what I noticed happen. The instructor of the class, what I saw was she started kind of naturally grounding herself much stronger. The stronger her grounding became, it was like these black balls of energy could no longer even reach her aura. So it might come all the way to about a foot from the teacher's aura and then hit the ground. And then the more the teacher grounded, then it was like that cannonball of negative energy might drop at 6 feet away from the aura, 10 feet away from the aura. And then eventually the instructor was so well grounded that the black ball of energy could not even leave her mind, leave the person's mind that was throwing the energy. I learned something so valuable that day. And what I learned was, because remember, I'm going to talk about the 4 energy tips, things that you could do. The thing that I learned that day was being well grounded and centered within the power of your own aura is incredible. It is a superpower. However, it's not always so easy to ground when you're feeling energetically attacked or you're feeling energetically slammed. So it is an ability that you want to practice and you want to cultivate. So I learned a huge valuable lesson then. And then another experience I had was quite similar, but this was about 10 years later. And now I'm the teacher and I'm teaching the class. But before I even made it to the class, I started feeling sick and I started kind of getting this head cold. My sinuses were really full. And I felt like there was someone that was going to be in the class that was going to be bullyish and combative. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. It actually made me physically ill before I got to the class. Why? Because the woman that was taking the class was kind of relied upon in her community to be a spiritual leader. And now suddenly they're like, oh, there's this new teacher coming to town. Her name is Nancy, and we're quite excited. She teaches about intuition. And what happened? The woman known as the authority in town, the spiritual authority for everyone, was intimidated, competitive, maybe even a little bit jealous. She hadn't even met me, but people were excited, and God forbid they should be excited about another teacher coming in. And so what happened was, I was able to kind of step into my power, really try to clear things. But as I started teaching the class, every time I was teaching the students how to ground, how to work with their aura, how to get their earth energy and their cosmic energy flowing, what happened is every time we moved as a group to bump the energy up, what happened was this particular person, their energetically started getting really out of control. Now, this person actually did a very similar thing, started throwing energy. So every time, if I ask a question and one of the students wanted to respond like, I had this experience with grounding I want to share with you, and they would get all excited. This individual I would watch would first glare at them, and then this cannonball of negative energy would go and hit the student's aura. Now, this is where the problem came in, and the problem came because I didn't want to kind of deflate this person that was doing it, because I knew I'm going to go home and I'm not going to probably be in that community again, and they all need to live with each other. So I was really trying to help uplift this person so that they could maintain their standing within the community in a respectful way. So I didn't really want to make her look foolish or embarrass her. So for me, I probably in fact, I know I tolerated that bully behavior longer than I should have. Now, on our first morning break, I did go talk to the woman. She just filleted me. I mean, remember in my last video, if you haven't watched about bully energy, where we think that this person can be rational to a conversation. Bully energy is irrational. That's what I want you to know. It's very irrational. So she really went and attacked me, said I had no business being there, that I was inadequate as a teacher, that I should be embarrassed to even call myself an intuition teacher. I mean, she unloaded on me, and she told me that she was going to leave the class and she wanted a full refund. And then she actually went and talked to the whole class and demanded and commanded that they all leave with her. You don't know, this Nancy person here is not a good teacher. We all need to get up and like mutiny and leave. But only one other person left with her. We still had a pretty large class of about 30 people. So let's say now we're down to 28 people. Now, the other students in the class, they did not know that I talked to the woman. They did not know what the woman said to me. And I did not share with the group because, again, I knew they'd have to live with her afterwards. But several of the students said, "Oh, wow, that was a really great break. That was a really great meditation. I feel so much better now, like it feels lighter and brighter." And then I said, "Well, there's only one thing that has changed since the break, and what is that one thing?" And then someone bravely spoke up and said that these two people left. And I said, "Exactly. They left, and you energetically feel better." So I wanted that to be a learning experience, that sometimes when you're around bully energy, you don't feel very good. We often naively think it's our fault, or we think that something is wrong with us. But in actuality, it may be someone within the group that you're functioning in. So I talked in that other video, but I'll just share it again. Bullyishness is a frequency. The person who bullies is usually been bullied themselves. It is a coping mechanism to feel safe. So I want to share that. And I'm always willing to give the bully an opportunity to heal within, whether they're working with me or within a group of people, but they are not allowed to throw energy. That's where I draw the line. They're not allowed to encompass. Remember, I talked in my other video about the Pac-Man encompassing you in their aura. That I don't allow that either. And so that's when I have to kind of stand up and speak out to help keep myself safe, keep you safe, keep the group safe. So how do you know when someone is throwing energy? You don't often know. It can really cloud up the room, blocking your own intuition, your own intuitive abilities to feel and see and sense and know that someone may be intimidating the energy. But most of you do know. Most of you, I will say that if you took a poll in the room to say who is the one kind of dominating energy in the room, most everyone would be able to identify it. So let me just talk about what can you do. So in the one story where I shared was about grounding. That's number one. And so you want to start practicing your grounding now. On my website, intuitivemind.org, I have some free meditations that you can listen to and I always talk about grounding. That's my number one technique, go-to technique that I go to and I teach everybody to go to as well. Because what does grounding do? When your spirit flows through your body and then flows past your feet into the center of the earth and anchors like an ancient tree in its root system, that tree is immovable, even if there's 100-mile-an-hour wind or 200-mile-an-hour wind. So you definitely want to start practicing being able to just instantaneously ground yourself in a moment's notice. But grounding also is a way to release negative energy. It can function like a drain. So I always say if leaves block the street drainage during a hard rain, you're going to feel overwhelmed with energy. So you want that grounding to be nice and clear so that any negative energy that's coming your way from the bully energy, sorry, that's my dog wanting to come into the room, just did a little dog body slam against the door. So anyway, back to what I was talking about, your grounding not only helps stabilize you, helps you feel the strength, your inner strength, but it also functions as a way to start rapidly letting go of negative, bullyish type energy. Now, number two, you want to expand your aura. So what happens with the bullyish energy, it wants to surround your energy and compress, suppress, and what's the other word? Oppress. Compress, suppress, oppress. So really wants to pull your aura in, wants to cause you to kind of turn your light down. If you think about a gas stove and you've got your light on high and you're feeling joyous and you're feeling awesome, and they're like, no, turn that light down. Their energy is going to suppress your aura. So you want to, like, get yourself well grounded and just really expand your aura more. It's like, no, I'm not shutting my light down for anyone. My little light's going to shine no matter what happens. So you want to imagine re-expanding your aura. You want to make sure your aura is all the way under your feet. And your aura, I've got some videos about the aura as well. And I also have some free meditations working with the aura. But just imagine that your aura is like a parachute or a balloon. You're going to expand it. And no matter what, you're not going to let anything shut your aura down. You're going to shine your light brighter. Tip number 3, move to the center of your head. I've also got a video on the center of your head. Move to the center of your head. This is your spiritual power place, is in your 6th chakra. Because what happens when this bully energy starts to suppress, oppress, suppress, oppress, depress, whatever, collapse your aura, it's like the elevator drops down to the 1st floor. The 1st chakra is located between your hips. That's your survival chakra. So you just drop right into that survival state. It's like, I don't know what's wrong, but I feel like I'm collapsing in on myself. You're going to drop down into the emotional chakra, the survival chakra. You're going to be in a state of emotional survival. You're going to go into fight, flight, freeze around the bully energy. So then you want to take the elevator to the top. You want to be in your power position of saying, hey, I see you. I see what you're doing. You're trying to intimidate me. You're trying to push your opinions on me. You're trying to influence me with your energy, and I'm calling you on it. No, you don't get to do that. What happens to the bullyish energy in a kind of healthy, kind of coping bullyish energy way? I'm not talking about violence. I'm not talking about poking the sleeping dragon or the sleeping bear. But most times the bully will say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. So often they won't challenge you again once you stand in your power. So what are the first 3 tips? Ground yourself, expand your aura, move the elevator to the top. And then expand, number 4, expand your solar plexus. Now, I know some of you watching this video, you don't have any idea what chakras are, and you don't need to have an idea about what chakras are, and you've got plenty of time to start studying about them. Your solar plexus is located, that's where your gut instinct is. That's your power center, that's your strength center. But it's also the center where you pull in your spiritual light and expand it throughout your life. It's called the energy distribution chakra. So right now, while you're listening to this video, put your hands on your 3rd chakra. It's located above the navel, below the diaphragm. It's kind of it fuels energy to your liver and pancreas and spleen and gallbladder and your stomach and large intestines. I mean, it's an amazing chakra. So when the chakra is closed, you are not pulling your spirit down into your body. You are feeling powerless. When that chakra is closed, you're feeling depressed. You're feeling insignificant. You're feeling less than. You're hiding your light under the bushel. You don't feel worthy. I mean, there's a lot of things that happen with a dysfunctional 3rd chakra. All you need to do is just set your intention. I'm going to open that up. Now, you might feel a little crampy if it hasn't been opened in a while, or you might hold your hands on it and say, oh, that's feeling a little tender. But with bullyish energy, you want to ground. You want to expand your aura. You want to move to the center of your head, and you want to open your 3rd chakra. So you can just imagine, it's like, I'm strong. I've got strong boundaries. I'm growing and thriving in this relationship. I'm growing and thriving in this office space or my home space. I'm growing and thriving in the world. Open up that third chakra. What happens when that kind of gut level area opens up, you're standing in your power in a much easier way because your spirit moves down into the third chakra to express the all-powerful, to express your light. It's not an intimidating light, but it is a high frequency light. And what does the bully energy not want? It does not want you to shine a light on their pain. So usually they will leave, they'll remove themselves from the area, or they might start crying and they'll say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. And then, then you can make a determination if you want to console them or set another boundary with them, or say, hey, why don't we both just take a break? We can have a conversation later, especially if it's somebody you're married to, or especially if it's one of your children, or especially if it's one of your family members that you love a lot. You might want to help them work through it, because I've worked with a lot of bullies, and it doesn't feel good to them either, but they need to have boundaries set. They crave to have somebody set boundaries with their behavior, because oftentimes they feel out of control. However, when they're in that state, as I said before, it's really not negotiable. I've tried. I've tried a lot. But anyway, so let me just go through the 4 tips again before we kind of close up this video. Tip number 1, when you feel like you're around bully energy, is you want to ground yourself really strongly. You want to expand your aura. You want to easily and effortlessly move up to the area of your eyes, behind your eyes, be centered in your eyes, coming out of fight, flight, freeze. And then you're wanting to open your solar plexus. And then, depending on the situation, then you can open your heart more to express a little compassion. It's like, I feel ya. I feel for you. I can appreciate the fact that you are feeling out of control right now, but you don't get to do this. So going back to when Spirit said, when I said, how can we help in the world with the warring energies and the warring nations? I feel so small, but how can I do my part? And Spirit said, start working in your own backyard. And that the sooner all of us in the world can start energetically holding that strong energetic force within you, that powerful place of spiritual light, the more and more and more that bully energy is going to shrink and dissipate. And that's a world I know we all want to be living in right now. So again, if you like the videos, you like following, you're learning something, and you want to learn more, please click the subscribe button. Share, share, share. Not only with people who feel intimidated by bully energy, but if you have people who are struggling with their own bully energy and they don't know what to do about it, you can share this with them as well, so that they can begin to understand the energetics of what's happening. Because we are all threadbare, right? From trying to cope in life right now. We are not always showing up our best selves right now, because we're just exhausted and tapped out, and I get it. But I like to, as a nurse, educate you as a psychic healer just about how dynamic your human energy field is, so that we can start adding that to our system of ways of self-care. So thanks everyone for showing up again. I love all your likes, loves, and comments. So just keep making them. I read every single one of them. All right, take care everyone. And let's show the bullies of the world that life can be lived in a completely different way.